short time, the Apollo. Catch up the phone, now I pull up in the Tahoe. Thought it's boring, I ain't calling unless she swallow. She don't listen, I ain't tripping, she don't follow. Got another where he swerving on the potholes. Got another thought, he thinks she hit the lotto. She pop a perky, then she chase it with Moscato. This bitch is bad, she fucking all the drug dealers. I took his bitch and then I took his plug, nigga. Have her back, I'm getting to the bag, nigga. Bust in your house, I'm running through your stash, nigga. On the grand flash, I know that cash, nigga. Part in my back, I'm counting all these stacks, nigga. Gucci duffel Louis on my ass, nigga. Hennessy and TNT, we blast, nigga. Ferragamo on my dress, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. On Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle in the old, just wobble wobble. Just started fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African swing, he spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. This whole insect, she fucking on the damn crew. Coming out of sock, she lost her damn shoe. Her friend and poppin', she ain't got no damn clue. Rollin' O's and weed and smoking bamboo. Smoking gelato when the Tahoe smell the fucking jar. She wanna ride with me cause we look like some movie stars. This all right, I think I got it fixed. All right. Give me a second, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Got some technical difficulties here. Okay, I think I have it fixed. Yeah, the song kept playing over and over and over and over and over. All right, yeah, I think I got it fixed. All right, y'all. Yeah, I think I got everything fixed, man. All right, we're back. We're back here. We're back. We're back. We're back. Salute to Sinclair. I see Sinclair's in the building. What's up, Sinclair? How you doing, Sinclair? What's going on? Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties over here.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Give me a second. Give me a second, Charles. Give me a second. Give me a second. We're about to start the show. It's always something, you know? It's always something. I may have to restart the show, y'all, because I'm having some technical difficulties still. Everything is lagging on my side. A lot of things are happening. Give me 1 second. Hopefully I don't have to. Are we good? 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 Everybody, are we good? Sinclair, am I lagging, Sinclair? Let me know if I'm lagging, Sinclair. Let me know. Let me know if I'm lagging.
I was having a little bit of technical difficulties before we started the show, but I think we're good now. Are we good? Am I good, Sinclair? Let me know. Okay. I look like I'm good on the phone. Okay. I think everything is copacetic. All right. Yeah, I was having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here. We're here. Let's get right into it, man. Eric Adams, New York mayor, indicted. Okay, Sinclair says we are good. All right, bet. Yeah, let's get right into it, man. New York mayor, Eric Adams, indicted. Now, I'm going to be honest, man. I kind of saw this coming. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. He was just moving real funny style. He was, he was moving like a drug dealer in New York, He thought he was Ghost. He thought he was Ghost of Power of New York City. The feds have been investigating him. They're alleging that he's been working with the Turkish government. Colluding. There's tales of him taking money and bribes and donations and things like that. We're gonna get into the report. We're also going to get into what he had to say. He did release a statement today. And my question tonight, will Eric Adams be sharing the same cell as P. Diddy? Will he be sharing the cell with P. Diddy? Listen. Diddy needs company in that cell, man. Them late nights, in the MDC Brooklyn. Them cells get cold, man. You're gonna need somebody you could talk to. Go to the rec yard. Play some basketball. Play some chess. Probably share bottles of baby oil together. You're gonna need somebody that's gonna keep you company in jail, and maybe Eric Adams will be P. Diddy's new cellmate. Just throwing it out there, because that's where it's looking like it's going. It's looking like it's going to go that way. In terms of Eric Adams and P. Diddy, it's looking like it's going to go that way. We're also going to take a look at Trump. He did a rally in NC, but I wanted to start with this show. I want to start with this tonight. Eric Adams indicted. He's been investigated by the feds into alleged corruption. And like I said, he's been, in New York, he's been moving very funny. He's been moving very funny. A lot of people blame him for the migrant crisis in New York. We're going to get to that. I have that queued up as well. I don't know what to say, man. I kind of knew it was coming. I really did. I kind of knew it was coming. But let's get into the news report of Eric Adams being indicted by the feds. Let's get into it.
This evening to bring you tonight involving the mayor of America's largest city. This one, the New York Times is reporting tonight that New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal charges. NBC News has not independently verified that report, and the Times reports that those charges remain sealed as of this evening. So we do not.
So what I'm hearing is that the charges have been remained sealed. So predominantly they're probably going to do a press conference tomorrow. The feds are going to do a press conference tomorrow. They're going to talk more about the charges, talk more about, I'm hearing he's been taking bribes, in donations from the Turkish government. I'm hearing about, he's been taking bribes from weed shops and stuff like that. I'm hearing a lot of different stories. Hopefully they'll get into it. Let's see what the news has to say about in terms of what they think he may be being charged with, because I believe the feds are going to do a press conference tomorrow and I'll break down the charges.
Not know what those charges are and what they include or do not include. Joining me now is Joyce Vance, former U.S. attorney and MSNBC legal analyst. Joyce, just to reiterate what we have now, NBC News can report that New York City Mayor Eric Adams is expected to face...
I didn't think of that. Salute to Sinclair. Sinclair says Bishop Whitehead probably worked with the feds. That's a good point, Sinclair. That's a very good point, Sinclair, because I'm going to be honest with you. We're so focused on, did Diddy tell this? Did Diddy tell that? People not talking. Maybe Bishop Whitehead is in that, because he also was, he also got locked up as well. He's in a jail cell keeping his beverages cold in a toilet. He could be possibly telling. He could be possibly, because they were working together at a certain point. They were very close. They were very cool. They did have a relationship. They did know one another. So, maybe possibly Bishop Whitehead is colluding and working with the feds to take down Eric Adams. We're going to get into that. Continue. Good point, though, Sinclair.
Federal charges by prosecutors out of the Southern District in New York, and those charges could come as soon as tomorrow, according to two sources familiar with the matter. Joy.
Now, what do y'all think is going to happen? Do you think Eric Adams is going to stand tall? He did release a statement. We're going to get into his statement, but do you think he's going to stand tall? Do you think he's going to serve out being the mayor, or do you think he's going to step down? There's people already calling for him to step down. AOC is calling for him to step down. I want him to stay in office. I want him to stand tall, and ride this thing out. That's what I want. I want him to stand tall and run this thing out. I want to see how long he's gonna stay in this. I want to see if he's gonna stay in that office and allow the feds to slap handcuffs on him. Salute to AI Rico. He says the check-in report is Fact City. Exactly. Salute to AI Rico. Salute to you. Salute to AI Rico. Yeah, I want him to stay in that office. I want him to ride out the mayor's seat. If the feds kick in the door while he's in his office and he's serving out his term as mayor, and they put the steel bracelets on him, so be it. I don't want him to step down. You know what I mean? Ride this thing out to the wheels fall off, Eric Adams. Don't let AOC, don't let anybody in New York tell you need to step down. You stay right in the mayor's seat. You do your due diligence. You know what I mean? You work with the feds. You give them what they need. If they come and get you, if they slap the steel bracelets on you, then so be it. Don't step down from nothing, Eric Adams. Ride out your term. And if you don't know, he's the second black mayor of New York City. A lot of people think that he's the first black mayor, but of course, anybody that's from New York or they're old enough, they remember Mayor Dinkins. Mayor Dinkins was the first black New York mayor. Eric Adams was the second. But let's continue.
Just your top line reaction first to the fact that the feds are charging potentially, reportedly, the mayor of New York City. If that is in fact what happens, Eric Adams will become the first mayor in New York City history to be charged while in office. Your thoughts?
So I think this looks like a classic federal public corruption investigation. Unfortunately, the Justice Department has repeatedly been in the business of indicting mayors who are involved in corruption. That doesn't come as...
That's her phone. That's not my phone. That's her phone in this clip.
Investigations here.
Joyce, I'm going to let you turn your phone off if you need to.
I'm going to do it magically.
It
Hey, Siri,
happens.
stop my alarm.
It happens. Just in terms of, you're talking about a classic corruption investigation. What we know is that the feds were interested in potential illegal foreign donations. The countries that have been mentioned in the reporting, again, we do not know if this is going to be in the indictment, included Turkey, Israel.
Yeah, so we don't know what the official charges are. But we have been hearing talks of he's been taking donations from the Turkish government. I didn't know about the Israel and all that other stuff, but he's been taking donations and stuff like that. And I believe they will be adding that, but only God knows what else. Maybe, like Sinclair said, maybe Bishop Whitehead dropped a dime on him. No, that's something that people are gonna have to ask. Listen, I think it's ignorant for us to think that people just want to lay in jail and do their terms. If if you could tell on somebody to get you up out of there or take some years off of your term, you're gonna do it. Same thing with Diddy. You think Diddy want to lay up in that jail? If they tell Diddy, listen, Diddy, there's no way you can get out of this. We got you on tape. You're looking at life in prison, but if you give us at least 5 or 10 people that you could throw underneath the bus and give us something concrete, we'll take off some of those years. You don't think Diddy gonna take that deal? Same thing with Bishop Whitehead. He's sitting in jail right now. Do you think if the feds come to him and say, hey man, we know you got some information on Mayor Adams, you two were close and stuff like that, you don't think he's gonna take that deal given the opportunity? Let's continue though.
China, Qatar, South Korea, and Uzbekistan. Lisa Rubin mentioned there are maybe up to 5, 6, or 7 different federal investigations.
Enrique says, I think Diddy has been singing like a canary. I do too.
How would those work? I mean, what is the sort of pecking order of those investigations, and sort of how do you expect them to work in concert vis-a-vis these indictments that we're going to be seeing tomorrow morning?
So it's possible that this is multiple sorts of branches of the same investigation, that in the course of doing one investigation, prosecutors stumbled upon other crimes and began branching out the investigation. That wouldn't... So
from what I'm hearing, he may have, and now these are all of the people that are a part of his administration, he may have more charges on him. He may have his hands... and other things that we don't even know about. So, these are all the people. I think these are the people that's in his administration.
Be at all unusual. Much of the early interest, some of the early indication that we had involved these investigations about Turkey. Perhaps it was some sort of bribery or pay to play. We don't know, but prosecutors have likely been to the grand jury, obtained an indictment that will be unsealed, and we'll learn more about the details of what they're alleging once they unseal that indictment, whether it's limited simply to the Turkey investigation. Are there others? Will it only involve the mayor, or will there be multiple defendants in a conspiracy in this case?
I should just, again, for folks who haven't been following this closely, and that is totally understandable, the investigation thus far, the reporting that we have for the New York Times, has focused on Mr. Adams.
Will Diddy get a new cellmate? I need to know right now. Will Diddy get a new cellmate? Will Eric Adams be his new cellmate? I need to know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, here you had Diddy, who gets the key to the city from Eric Adams, and now they're both being indicted.
Oh my God!
And please do not rule out Diddy snitching on Eric Adams. Don't rule that out. Do not rule out Diddy snitching on Eric Adams. Only God knows what Diddy. Nobody mentioned Diddy yet. Nobody mentioned, hey, Diddy might be telling on Eric Adams. Remember, he got the key to the city. Not only did he get a key to the city from Eric Adams, I believe the two are frat brothers. I believe the two are frat brothers. I think both of them are part of the same fraternal order. So, you may be dealing with Diddy inside those prison walls, and he may be tattletelling on Eric Adams to loosen his charge up. Whoever he can bring down with him.
Pressuring the fire department to approve a new high-rise Turkish consulate in Midtown. They've examined free flights and flight upgrades the mayor received from Turkish Airlines. They have also looked at the 2020.
John Golf says, "What did Eric do?" They haven't unsealed the indictment yet. I believe they're going to do it tomorrow in a press conference. But there's murmurs of political corruption, him taking money from the Turkish government. I also heard something about him taking money from weed shops and stuff like that as bribes. There's a lot of things that I've been hearing, but they haven't officially unsealed the indictment. I believe they're going to do that tomorrow. The feds are going to do it tomorrow.
To World Cup in Qatar, which the mayor attended, as well as information about the tickets he got to the World Cup in Qatar. I mentioned this in my conversation with Lisa Rubin. We're also looking at Israel, China, Qatar, South Korea, and Uzbekistan. Joyce, they seized the mayor's phones. Several, I say phones plural, maybe just phone singular, but
and the feds been on his the feds been on his heels. The feds have been on his heels. They raided. He hired a new police commissioner. They raided his home. They took everybody that's a part of his administration. They took their phones, raided a few people's houses. The feds have been on his heels.
What would you imagine they would want to get out of the seizure of the mayor's phones in a case like this?
Right. So the forensic investigators who look at phones are very sophisticated and able to obtain data sometimes that the individual whose phone it is believes that they have deleted or can't be recovered.
Now, let me just show y'all this, right? Just show y'all this. We're going to get to his statement next. But listen, man. New York City has spent $5 billion on the migrant crisis alone. $5 billion. Can you think about that? $5 billion spent on the migrants alone, not on education, not on housing for the homeless. Not towards infrastructure, but on immigration alone. This all happened underneath his watch. Now, this is a democratically ran city. This is New York City here. This is the Democratic capital, if you will.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
So if you're looking for a democratic utopia, I mean, some would say it would be New York City, wouldn't it be? $5 billion on migrants alone. That's lunacy. That's ridiculous. That's lunacy. He kind of clapped at the federal government for that. Let me actually get into his quotes now. Hold on, give me 1 second because I gotta take this off. All right, here we go. He clapped at the federal government. He definitely did. He definitely did.
Belief that the federal.
Let's get into his quotes from Eric Adams. He released a video statement after the news of his indictment. These charges will be entirely false, based on lies. He's saying that all of these things are lies. They lying on Eric Adams is what he's saying. We're going to find out tomorrow, Eric Adams. They're going to do a whole press conference. They're going to roll it out. They're going to put you on the Barbie tomorrow. We're going to find out what exactly you've been doing. The feds ain't playing with you, Eric Adams. They're not playing. They tired of you walking around New York like you're Ghost from Power. You running around New York acting like you Ghost from Power, bro. Like you James St. Patrick. They got tired of you. They got tired of you doing all of that. They heard you call white NYPD officers crackers. They wasn't feeling you, Eric Adams. They wasn't feeling you, and they was like, no, we got to take a look at this nigga. They got to, and who we got in prison? We got Diddy. Wasn't Diddy around him? Yeah, let's let's get Diddy in here in the interrogation room. Let's ask him some questions. Who else knows Eric Adams? Oh yeah, we got that Bishop Lamar Whitehead. He in here too, right? Let's talk to him. Let's see what he knows about Eric Adams. I think Eric Adams got snitched on by Diddy and Bishop Lamar Whitehead. I think that both of them are dropping the dime on Eric Adams right now. Because listen, both of them have been around. Both of them have rubbed shoulders around this dude. Diddy got the key to the city last year from Eric Adams, right? Bishop Lamar Whitehead, he was at parties with Eric Adams. He was rubbing shoulders. He was chilling with him, right? It was cool. So you have two of these dudes that have they're already in jail. They're already doing time. And I'm sure both of them are looking to decrease their sentence and try to get out as early as possible. So you know what it is. It's all crabs in the barrel mentality, nigga. Let me grab Eric Adams by the ankles. Let me bring him down a peg to decrease my sentencing. You know? There's reports right now. They're saying that Diddy isn't eating in prison. They're saying that Diddy he's fearing for his life. He thinks that he's going to be poisoned. So Diddy's not even eating in prison right now because he's fearing for his life. He thinks that someone's going to poison him. And only God knows what's going on with Bishop Lamar Whitehead. You know, he's been scamming for a while now. He's not used to, keeping his beverages cold in a toilet and busting a tray. He's not used to that, bro. So he's looking to decrease his sentence as well. So he's trying to snitch on possibly the mayor. Let's continue what Eric Adams was saying. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Let's see what Eric Adams is talking about in this clip right here.
Government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies.
We're going to find out tomorrow, Eric Adams. We're going to see what you're officially charged with. I can't say that what they've coming with is based off of lies because they haven't unsealed the indictment yet. If they unsealed an indictment and they say, they got you and Diddy, on tape with your ankles behind your neck, and they say they got it on tape. I mean, I don't know if that's a lie if it's on tape, Eric Adams. And please don't rule that out. Don't rule out Eric Adams being on tape with Diddy and TD Jakes and everybody else. Don't rule Eric Adams being on there on them tapes with his ankles behind his neck. Don't rule it out. Let's continue.
They would not be surprised. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target. And a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner.
See, they've been on his heels. See, he hired a new police commissioner. They kicked down the door on the new police commissioner. They've raided the homes of some of his, some of the people that are, in close proximity to his administration, as they should. They believe that he's dirty. They believe that he's, has his hands full in political corruption. And we're going to find out tomorrow what the feds know.
Looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit. If I'm charged, I know I am innocent. I will request an immediate trials so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from.
New Yorkers, do you know his story? I need to know. I think he's full of it. I'm gonna be honest with you, guys. I think he's full of it. Not only do I think he's full of it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though he's full of it, I want him to stay in office. I do not want him to step down. I want him to stay in that damn office. I want him to ride this thing until the wheels fall off. I want to, if they decide to put the steel bracelets on him, then so be it. But I'm not for him stepping down. I want him to ride this thing till the wheels fall off.
I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor. Despite our pleas, when the federal government did nothing as its broken immigration policies overloaded our shelter system with no relief.
See, he's clapping at the feds. He's clapping at the federal government because he's talking about what I just showed y'all about, the migrants flooding into New York City. $5 billion spent on immigration alone. He's calling them out. Maybe that's why, the feds are taking or looking into him or decided to take a look into him because, he was talking a little fly. He was talking a little fly about the migrants flooding into the cities. And, the Democrats don't like when you talk fly. When you talk fly and the Democrats see that and you're in a democratically ran city or you're a Democrat a person, we did a whole video showing how when Diddy was, running around with the Democrats, when he was working for the Democrats, they were giving him, celebratory token biscuits. They were giving him butter biscuits. When Diddy was close and working for the Democrats, they allowed him to, exist. They knew he was dirty. They knew he was doing little baby oil parties and the freak off parties in his basement. But they allowed him to exist. We're going to allow you to exist because you're working for us. You're singing the praises of us. As soon as he started to stray away, that's when you start hearing all these stories. And then eventually you get the indictment, lawsuits, and all of that. And it might be. I'm just throwing this out there. It could be. It might be that Eric Adams getting his nigga wake up call because he criticized. He's criticizing the government for overloading New York City with migrants and not giving New York City the aid that they need to assist these people. Let's continue though.
I put the people of New York before party and politics. Now, if I am charged, many may say I should resign because I cannot manage the city while fighting the case. I can also understand.
We're going to get to Trump next. We got to look at Trump's rally. We're going to get to Trump next. We're just looking at this Eric Adams thing real quick. We're just checking this out real quick, all right?
Everyday New Yorkers will be concerned that I cannot do my job while I face accusation. But I have been facing these lies for months since I began to speak out for all of you and their investigation started. Yet the city has continued to improve. Make no mistake.
That's a damn lie. The city has not improved. He's been doing a terrible job running this city. I just got to keep it a buck, with the migrants flooding into the city, gang wars, people shooting at one another. He has not been doing a good job. I just got to keep it a buck.
You elected me to lead this city, and lead it I will. I humbly ask for your prayers and your patience as we see this through. God bless you, and God bless the city of New York. Thank you.
What do y'all think the feds are gonna do him? Y'all think they're gonna throw him in jail? Listen. The feds ain't playing with people. They're not. The feds don't go off of assumption. The feds don't go off of what they think happened. The feds don't go off of a presumption. The feds go off of concrete evidence that lead to you committing a criminal act. So I assure you, whatever the feds have, it's going to be some concrete evidence against him. Whatever it is, whether it be a testimonial, whether it be a somebody snitching, some type of audio or video evidence that Diddy may have possibly given them. Maybe Diddy has him, on camera with his ankles behind his neck, like I said. Maybe Diddy said, you know what, you know Eric Adams, the mayor. He was at my party, we was at the freak off, Somebody had his ankles behind his neck. Somebody from the Turkish government came in and they was like, hey man, do you want to be the next mayor? Oh, okay, well, we're gonna give you this donation. Don't tell nobody. That possibly happened at a freak off, allegedly. That possibly could have happened though. That possibly could have happened, Don't rule out Diddy passing off information. Don't rule out Diddy, trying to save his own like if you look at Diddy's history, he has a history of saving his own ass. Look at the Shine situation where Shine shot inside of a nightclub. All Diddy was trying to do was save his own ass. Every time Diddy gets in trouble, he all he cares about is saving his own ass. So, I think people should really realize that listen, Diddy, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, these are dudes that don't want to sit in jail for the rest of their lives. These are dudes that don't want to sit in there, and if they can snitch on Eric Adams and reduce their sentencing, they're gonna do it. Salute the primo. Yeah, man, niggas ain't trying to sit in jail. And they got evidence on Mayor Adams in there with his ankles behind his neck. They ain't trying to sit in jail. I mean, I respect it. But we're going to find out tomorrow what the feds actually know. The feds haven't unsealed the document yet. They haven't officially unsealed it and said what he's up to and what he's been doing. We're going to have to see. And we're also going to have to see are the feds going to arrest him? Will he be going in custody? Will he be held on a $50 million bond like Diddy? This is crazy. Keep in mind, y'all. Maybe I should pull that up. Diddy getting the key to the city. This was a year ago, y'all. Like literally. And maybe I should also play. We're going to get into the Trump rally, but just give me 1 second. But this was the year ago. Diddy, key to the city. This was a year ago that Diddy got the key to the city from Eric Adams. And now both of these dudes are being indicted now.
Some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the...
This was last year.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
Oh my goodness. This was a year ago. This was a year ago that this was happening. And now both of them are indicted federally. It's crazy that this is happening.
Thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York.
Album, The Love album, Off the Grid. On 11:30, the doors open for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city.
Enrique says he took the key back. He did. Actually, he didn't take the key back. Diddy gave it back. He didn't take the key back. Diddy gave the key back. But this is crazy that both of these dudes are being indicted. Last year they were on stage together. He was receiving a key. It's just crazy. It's really crazy.
Diddy finally has the key to the city.
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love album, Off the Grid.
Absolutely crazy. The sequence of events. But yeah, man, we're gonna have to see what happens tomorrow. They're gonna unveil. They're gonna talk more about the indictment. We're gonna see what he's officially charged with. What I'm wondering is, will he have to turn himself in, or will they allow him to fight these charges on the outside? Are they going to arrest him? Are they going to bring him in? These are all things they're going to have to be asked, but we're going to have to see how that plays out. Let's get into this Trump rally, though. I just want to talk a little bit about Eric Adams and what he's being faced with. He will be indicted. He won't be. He is indicted. They're going to unseal the indictment tomorrow, so we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. But let's get into this Trump rally. He was in North Carolina, and let's see what Trump is talking about today out there in NC. Let's see what he's talking about today. Let's get into it.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Hold up. Thank you very much. A very big hello.
Sinclair says they took Adams' phones last November. Adams was at the Metropolitan Art Museum. He was at the MoMA, right? Was at the MoMA? I've been to the MoMA before. With Biden and wife prior to the charges today. Talk about awkward. That is awkward. Enrique says Democrats taking major L's. That's an absolute fact. Listen. People have to realize how the Democrats operate. And this is what I've been seeing. First of all, there's a hierarchy in Democrats, right? There's a hierarchy in the liberal left. People think that the Democrats are not racist, when I think that the Democrats are probably more racist than anyone. They think that the liberals, just because they smile in your face and they act like they can articulate black pain or black struggle or Hispanic pain or Hispanic trouble. They think that these people are, in solidarity with their communities. I think differently. Not only that, like I said, there's a hierarchy in, the Democratic left. And, if you're going to be a liberal, let's say you're a black liberal, you're a celebrity, you have some influence. The Democrats expect you to fall in line. And when you fall in line, they expect you to read the script. Read the script. The script is gun control. The script is abortion. The script is LGBTQ. That's the script. The script doesn't have reparations in it. The script doesn't have, incentivizing or giving black people anything. The script doesn't have, none of those things in it. The script is what the script is for the Democratic left. And when you're a black celebrity and, they have awarded you, let's say with Diddy, let's say, you worked with the Democratic left as Diddy and you have these fetishisms and you have these sexually deviant things that you like to do. They'll give you a cloak of security, but as soon as you decide to feel yourself a little bit too much and, you stray away from them, they can no longer help you anymore. As soon as you're a Mayor Eric Adams and, you've worked with the Democrats for this amount of years, but you start to to criticize the country and them bringing flooding the New York City with immigrants and over taxing the city's pretty much making the city bankrupt because you're putting all these immigrants in high-rise hotels. And you start to criticize the Democrats and how the country is ran, the political left will humble you. They may make a call or something. And I think that is crazy that people don't think like that. People believe, let me just say this. People believe that, especially Kamala. Kamala said that Trump called up, remember, Trump was already out of office. Biden was in office at this time. Kamala said that Trump called up a bunch of Republicans to stop a bill in Congress, right? She said that. Everybody in America can believe that. But why can't they believe that Democrats called up district attorneys, called up the DOJ, called up people in the justice system to weaponize that against Trump? Why is that so hard to believe? It's hard. It's not hard to believe that Trump called up some Republicans to stop a bill. But it's totally unfathomable to believe that a couple of Democrats, whether it be Nancy Pelosi, whether it be Barack Obama, whether it be Kamala, Joe Biden, powerful people in politics, it's crazy to think that they called up some people in the justice system, in the DOJ, a couple of district attorneys, a couple of prosecutors to, go against and go after Trump. Why is that so hard to believe? That's my question. Fire! 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 Why is that so hard to believe? I believe both can be true. I believe Trump could have called a couple of Republicans to stop a bill. I also believe that a couple of powerful Democrats could have called, some district attorneys, the DOJ to weaponize the justice system against Trump. I believe both can be true. Both can be true. But let's get into Trump at the in North Carolina. He did a rally out there. Let's get into that.
Go to North Carolina, special place. You saw the other day my little granddaughter. She's named Carolina. There's for a reason, because Lara, her mother is from here, and she's doing a fantastic job, a fantastic person. So it's great to be here and great to be back in this beautiful.
We got 70 people in the building. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Like I said, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Now, I did hear that Trump has a new plan. Hopefully, he'll talk about the plan in this. He has a sign behind him that says "Jobs, jobs, jobs." Oh my God! Very cute, very cute, very cute. But hopefully he'll talk about his new plan. I did hear he has a new economic plan. I would love to hear it. Hopefully he'll get into it in this clip here. Let's take a look at it.
State with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. I want to thank very much Glenn Mosak and everyone at the Mosak Group for welcoming me today. This is a beautiful, fantastic place. And I must tell you, Glenn is the owner and the boss and all of that. And he grabbed me as I'm coming up. He grabbed me, sir, I want to just tell you something.
1 second, y'all. 1 second, y'all. You know, we don't pay for no premiums over here. Ain't paying for no premiums over here.
Before tariffs, when you put those tariffs on, this was just a dead, empty building. It wasn't functioning. And you put those tariffs on, and now we're a manufacturing powerhouse. He said they were only importing product. Now they're making product, and they're making a lot of it. You see a lot of it here. That's a lot of product. And I really, I know that. I've known that for a long time, and that's what we're going to be doing on a much, much larger scale. And our congressmen that are here and senators, a lot of people here, I'll just introduce a couple real fast, but I just want you to know that I couldn't have been more beautifully greeted when Glenn said that, because I've been trying to explain that to people. They don't understand it, but this was he called it an empty hulk, and now it's a thriving business. We're also joined by, thank you very much. We're also joined by congressional nominees. Mark Harris is doing fantastically well. No relation to Kamala Harris, I don't assume. No, he's not. No, I don't think so. You're doing very well. You're doing better than she is, I can tell you that, in the polls. And Pat Harris.
How is Kamala Harris doing in the polls? Give me 1 second. I have to take a look at that. How is she doing in the polls? I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Give me a second. Trump. How is she? Is she doing good in the polls? I haven't been hearing about the polls too much. Polls. Who's winning in the polls right now? CNN says Harris leads Trump among young. This is only for young voters. You know, young people don't really vote like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of young people. Don't get me wrong. There's some young people that are going to vote, but you know, I don't really see a lot of young people enthused to vote. Harris and Trump locked in exceedingly close. Okay, that was 1 day ago. So CNN is saying they're very close. Newly poll says Harris builds momentum, challenging. I don't see any momentum for Kamala Harris. I don't know what momentum does Kamala Harris have right now? I'll take close. If they say it's going to be close, I could take that, but I don't see no momentum right now. I don't think neither one has a momentum right now. I think if you're a Trump guy or a Trump woman, I think you're locked in for Trump. I think if you're a Kamala Harris person and you feel strongly about her, actually, I take that back, because I don't really think that it's a lot of Kamala Harris fans like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's more so Trump haters, people that hate Trump or really dislike Trump. And it's probably a few people that probably like her and like her agendas. I mean, I still have yet to hear, especially when they come in here. You guys see the Kamala Harris fans when they come in here. I mean, not one of them could tell you, her agenda, what she's running on. Not one of them could tell you that. So I mean, it's not that many people that are rolling with Kamala Harris like that. So I'm not buying that. Let's continue though.
Harrigan. Thank you. Good luck, Pat. Good. I heard you both doing great. And of course, North Carolina GOP Chairman Jason Simmons, who's a fantastic job. I heard we had a great poll this morning. That was good. We're doing well. We've won North Carolina twice, and we got to win it one more time. And we win North Carolina, we're going all the way. Perhaps we go all the way anyway, but this is a very important place, a very important state, and I love it. And as the expression goes, we have family here, and we really do. I also want a big enterprise down the road at Lake Norman. Does anybody know of what I have? And it's been very, very successful. Trump National has been great right on Lake Norman, which is so beautiful. I wish I had time to go see it. I won't have time to even see it. I got to go in and out, but I'll be back. As you know, there have been 2 assassination attempts on my life that we know of, and they may or may not involve.
Have we got to the meat and potatoes of, like, let me just say this about the Trump assassination. Whether it was staged or not, I'm on neither side of the fence. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's staged, so I'm not gonna sit up here and blurt out that it was staged. But have we gotten to the meat and potatoes? We need to, I believe as a country, we need to know what exactly that was about. We need to know if those 2 men that tried to assassinate Trump worked alone. For all we know, it could be an organization, a network of people who is trying to assassinate Donald Trump. For all we know, this could all be an elaborate scheme that Trump and his campaign has conjured up to get him back in office. We don't know. I'm not gonna blurt that out as any truth or not. We don't know. But as a country, we should know by now. Fire! 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 As a country, we should know if there's Democrats that are, hiring people or, telling people to do that. We should know if Trump, did this elaborate scheme. We should know more about who these 2 people. I don't feel like we're getting enough information that we need as a country. We just had 2 attempted assassinations. But we know as much as we know as the first days that they both happened. We don't know much information from neither one of those cases. Why is that? Why don't we know more? Why don't we know who was involved? Why don't we know these people's background? It seems like, they're shielding information, if you will. I want to know who these people are. I want to know their background. I want to know who they know. I want to know who they're connected to. I want to know, their history from birth to where they are now. I want to know what jobs they worked in, what organizations they're tied to. I want to know everything that we could know about these people, because I feel like, there's more to the story. I'm not buying that these 2 just went on their own gall and just said, yeah, I'm going to take this gun and I'm going to try to assassinate someone. I don't believe that. I believe that these 2, I think it's a little bit more complex than we're all thinking and that we all know. I believe there's more to the story. Oh my God! But is the government going to give us the story? Are we gonna hear more? I want to hear more. I want to know exactly what's happening. Let's continue.
But possibly do Iran. But I don't really know, can't be sure, because in the first case in Butler, Pennsylvania, great place, and we're going back to Butler, by the way. We're going to go back and finish our speech. The FBI has been unable to open the 3 potentially foreign-based apps. And in the second case, the assassin.
Yeah, the first person that tried to assassinate Trump, he had like some encrypted accounts on his phone or something like that. I'm not believing that the feds can't open up an encrypted. Like, come on, we're talking about the federal government here. Now, let's unpack this for a second. Right? And the people that are in here, I want you to listen closely to this. Listen closely to this. This is how you know that it's a more elaborate scheme at foot here. It's a more elaborate scheme here. Donald Trump just told us that the feds cannot open up the 2 encrypted counts overseas, right? So are we supposed to believe that this dude from rural Pennsylvania got on top of a roof, did what he did, right? The events occurred how they occurred. The man lost his life. And the whole series of events that night was just weird. The Secret Service waiting for a cue to shoot the attempted assassinator. The police officer going on the roof and the attempted assassinator waving the rifle at the police officer and him leaving the scene. All of it is weird to me. But on top of all of that, now the man is gone. We can no longer hear his story and what exactly happened. And now you're telling me that the feds can't encrypt the 2 social media accounts that were tied to this man? All that tells me is that this is an elaborate scheme here. Sinclair says, Ryan, searching BlackRock commercial to see the future Patsy. Yeah, he was in that BlackRock commercial. I remember that. He was in that BlackRock commercial. I believe the other didn't the other guy that tried to do, when he was at the Mar-a-Lago golf course, the second assassinator attempter, wasn't he a part of BlackRock as well? Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It all looks weird. It looks very weird. It looks very like you're telling me that somebody from rural Pennsylvania has these 2 encrypted accounts that the feds can't get into. Now, we know the feds, they get into everything. The feds, they break down everything. The feds will search your mother's pussy if they have to. You trying to tell me that they can't encrypt an account on somebody's phone from rural Pennsylvania? Is that what you want me to believe? That's all pointing that this is more of a bigger play. This is more of a bigger play. I believe both of them were patsies. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that this is bigger than both of those 2 guys. And they better interrogate the hell out of that second guy. I don't think the second guy knows as much as the first guy, but the second guy, they gotta interrogate the hell out of him. But it's definitely more at play here that they're not telling us. But let's continue.
Had 6 cell phones in his car, yet the FBI has likewise been unable to penetrate their guard. Shouldn't be tough to do. They want to know, and I want to know, and the whole country and maybe the world wants to know, who is he calling? Who is he calling? In the old days, the FBI and the DOJ used to capture people before anything happened. In current days, the upper echelon of the FBI is...
If you have anything to add to the discussion, please put it in the super chat. Please put it in the donation. We only put respect on the super chatters. We only put respect on the donors here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's continue.
All talk while they focus on the sitting president's political opponents. That's what they're doing. They spend so much time. We won the case in Florida. It's all a big scam. It's all against a political opponent, me, who's doing better in the polls than anybody else and should be hopefully able to recapture the presidency in 41 days and make our country...
We got 41 days, y'all. Can y'all believe that? 41 days until election night.
Oh, Pyro, you going to bed, nigga.
41 days. That's crazy.
Great again, but all they focus on is... their political opponent, but they must get Apple to open these foreign apps, and they must get Apple to likewise open the 6 phones from the second lunatic, who's a lunatic. And
so wait a minute. Are you telling me even the second guy has a phone that they haven't unlocked yet? Is that what you're trying to tell me? None of y'all find this weird that the feds can't open up or encrypt these apps or phones that these two guys have? Like, come on now. Are you telling me the same feds that go into the urban communities and give RICO charges to 50 different people, tap their phones, raid their houses? You trying to tell me the same people that do that, the same people that have all this incriminating information on Diddy, had all the incriminating information on R. Kelly. You talking about the same federal government that wiretaps people every day? The same federal government that collects information on the citizens every day. Are you telling me that they can't encrypt a phone from these two dudes that did what they did? Are you telling me that?
Fire! Fire! Fire!
It doesn't make sense. Mike says Apple has incredible encryption, and yeah, the feds can't break it. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't believe that. For one, the reason why I don't believe that is because, you know, if the feds put enough pressure on you, you're gonna crack. Anybody been watching what's happening with Telegram? The app Telegram, a lot of drug dealers and people in the criminal underworld have been using the app Telegram. The feds put pressure on them. The federal government put pressure on them, and now, you know, they've given up all their documents. They're working in collaboration with the federal government. You know, if the federal government leans on you hard enough, you're going to give up that encryption. You're going to give up that information if the federal government leans on you. I don't care how big you are. I don't care if you're an Apple or whoever. If the federal government leans on you hard enough, you're going to give up that information. Especially when it has something to do with an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and a former president. Encrypt, decrypt, tomato. You know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, why don't we have the answers that we need right now, right? Why don't we have the answers? Why is it taking so damn long? You know? When things take too damn long, we start to get into the JFK realm of, you know, all of these different scenarios, the magic bullet, the grassy knolls, a second shooter. We get into all these different theories when we don't get the concrete evidence story. So people have to watch that. You know, when there's too many stories, when there's too many narratives, that's when it starts to look like a deeper conspiracy theory to me.
Oh my God!
That's just my take. When we start hearing all these different tales and stories and all these different theories of what have happened, and, you know, we're starting to go into the realm of maybe it was more to it than what we think it was. You know, we should have the answer by now. And what I'm saying is this: you know, the feds, they flip over the ghetto They flip over the ghetto when it's gang violence going on. They know where the crack is being sold. They know where the bodies are. They know who shot who on what block. The feds flip over the hood when they want their man. So you telling me that one white boy from rural America that was on a Black Rock commercial, that you can't give me the information on what's going on with him, but you could flip over the hood. You could tell me where all the bodies are in the ghetto. You could tell me where all the crack was being sold in the ghetto. You could tell me who shot who. You got wiretaps on everybody and their friends. But you can't tell me what's going on with these two white boys that did this? I don't believe it. You know? Sinclair says we don't have answers on JFK yet. That's a fact. That's a fact. But why don't we? When things go into the realm of, because you got to think with JFK, there's so many stories. You got the mafia story. You got the what's the dude? The FBI instructor. I forgot, not the FBI instructor. The head of the FBI, the racist guy from the head of the FBI. He had a gripe. He had an axe to grind. You had Nixon. You had the Bay of Pigs incident. People feeling ways about that in the military. You had Cuba. You had so many different stories on what had actually happened in terms of JFK. And I feel like if we continue to allow this, these two attempted assassination, if we continue to allow these things to just, play into the American consciousness, we're going to have all these damn conspiracy theories. And when we just need the answer, what happened? What the hell happened? We don't need all these conspiracy theories and magic bullet theories and second shooter theories and all these other. We need the concrete evidence of what happened. What happened? What happened? And clearly to me, this is just to me, clearly there's more to the story. If you got these two guys with these encrypted accounts that you can't get into, and clearly there's more to the story than what we're thinking and what we know so far. But let's continue. Damn.
If you want to stop the hunger in the world, stop.
My fault, y'all. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Right now in North Gaza, children.
1 second.
He went.
All right, give me 1 second, Charles. My fault, man.
Love to have you continue to be the world's reserve currency, sir. So easy. It's so easy, but you need the right messenger. You need the right messenger. She didn't support domestic manufacturing. She killed 24,000 U.S. manufacturing jobs. In the last month alone, we lost 24,000 jobs. There is a reason for the interest rate cut from the Fed. Big part of that reason is that our economy is doing really, really badly. Kamala goes to work every day in the White House. Families are suffering now. So if she has a plan, she should stop grandstanding and do it. Just do it.
I agree.
You have a few months left. Do it. Do it. You have plans for the border? Do it now. You don't need anything at the border. All you need is the President of the United States to say, the border is closed. I didn't have anything. I had only.
He's right. I gotta give him his props. He's right. What's stopping you from fixing that damn border? He got a point with that. I agree. You could take your ass to the border right now and close it up your damn self. You ain't gotta wait till election night. Got a point.
Only a good thought process. I closed the border. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and I got Mexico to give us thousands of soldiers to guard our country so people didn't come in. And we had the safest border in the history of our country. I didn't need to have a document. I was president. I said to the Border Patrol, nobody better than the Border Patrol and ICE and all of the rest, law enforcement in this country, of which I have the endorsement of almost every single law enforcement group. But Kamala should have closed the border years ago, and we wouldn't have hostile takeovers of.
And why hasn't she closed the border? Like, what's her problem? Why hasn't Kamala closed the border as the borders are? Why hasn't she done more?
Springfield, Ohio, Aurora, Colorado.
They're eating the pets.
Where they're actually going in with massive machine gun type equipment. They're going in with guns that.
Yeah, and I'm not believing the Democrats. The Democrats, they're trying to put a Band-Aid on everything. We all saw that video in Aurora, Colorado, with the migrants in that hotel, in that apartment building with the firearms. We all saw what we saw. Those were not, naturalized citizens in America. Those were gang members, immigrant gang members in that city. The Democrats are trying to put a Band-Aid on everything, just like with the whole eating of the pets. The reality is people were reporting that pets were missing. Maybe they didn't see a cat get ate or a dog get ate, but pets were missing. We all saw the video with the migrant, one of the Haitian migrants. He had a what was it? A geese in his hand, walking down the street with a geese in his hand. Looked it crazy. It just looked it crazy. Now, I don't know if he ate the geese. He probably didn't eat the geese. But, I mean, it looked it crazy, and it fed into the narrative. The reality is, it doesn't matter if they're eating the pets or not, or they're eating the geese or not. The reality is, they got to go back home. They got to go back home. You got to send the Haitians back to Haiti. You got to send the Venezuelans back to Venezuela. You got to send the Ecuadorians back to Ecuador. You got to send them back. We got to take care of the American people that are here, that are working hard, paying taxes, and that are naturalized citizens. That's what we need to take care of. We don't need to put, the migrants first. If we continue to go the way we are going, America is going to end up like New York. You're going to end up everywhere in America is going to end up like New York. You're going to end up with a mayor that's getting indicted. You're going to end up with a governor like Tim Walz giving out tampons to teenage boys. And everywhere, every state in America is going to be spending billions of dollars on migrants, not on education, not on housing, not on anything else that that needs to go, that we need to prioritize in our country. It's going to be all going to the migrants if we continue to go the way we are. Let's continue.
Beyond even military scope. And they're taking over apartment buildings. They're taking over real estate. They're in the real estate development business. Congratulations. These are, in that case, people from Venezuela, young street gang members that were sent here by the Venezuelan government. Crime in Venezuela is way down. Crime all over the world is way down, except here. I was right in the debate when David Muir kept interrupting me over and over and over again. And he said to me, when I said crime is way up, it's rampant because of what's happening in our country. And he said, no, crime is not up. That's a mistake. Crime. Well, the following day, the Department of Justice announced the crime figures up 44%, up much more than that in certain categories. But I haven't gotten an apology. No vice president in history has done more damage to the United States economy than Kamala Harris. She has no idea what she's talking about on economy or really on anything else. If you watched Oprah the other day and you watched those answers, you wouldn't even be thinking of her for president.
Yeah, I gotta agree that interview with Oprah and Kamala, it was embarrassing. We watched a little bit of it. Did you guys see when she talked to that couple that were they were trying to buy a home, their first time home buyers? She did a terrible job answering their questions. That was a terrible display of reassuring young people that are trying to buy a home. She did a terrible job.
The United States, because we had 4 years of that, and our country can't take 4 more years of that, I can tell you. But twice she cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in maybe 100 years. She abolished our borders and flooded our country with 21 million plus illegal aliens. They came.
And she can't get away from that. She can't get away from, flooding the country with migrants. Kamala Harris was the border czar. She can't escape from that. She may try to wiggle out of the economy, even though I feel like she's just as responsible for the state of the economy and the way it's at. But she cannot get away from the border situation. And Trump has to continue to lean on her on that border immigration thing. He has to continue to lean on her because this is the woman that was the border czar. She was in charge of the border. You can't wiggle out of this because you were in charge. Because people love to, especially Kamala Harris supporters, they love to run with the narrative of, oh, she didn't have any power. Oh, Joe Biden is the president, not Kamala. She didn't have any power to do anything, to stop anything. No. They gave this woman a job. They gave this woman responsibilities. They gave this woman something to do. They said, Kamala Harris, we're going to put you in charge of the border. She dropped the ball on it. She didn't do a good job on it. And we all remember the interview when the interviewer asked her, have you ever been to the border, Kamala Harris? She said, no, how are you the border czar and you never been to the damn border? That's like me working at McDonald's and I've never been in front of the fryer. Like, come on. You're supposed to be the border czar and you've never been to the border. You've never seen it. You've never been down there. You don't know what's happening there. You're too busy buying new suit pants. You're too busy looking at cat videos on YouTube and cackling like a cow to do the work. Let's continue.
Came in from all over. Think of it. They came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're terrorists. They're criminal street gangs. They're MS-13. We took millions of people like this into our country, and we're going to get them out, and we're going to get them out fast, I can tell you. No country can survive that. No country can survive it. But ask yourself, is anything less expensive than it was 4 years ago?
Yeah, she was, salute to Sarah. Yeah, she was too busy buying suit pants. She's the suit pants messiah. You know when Oprah and Kamala was on stage with together, you know they was challenging one another for the suit pants messiah moniker. They had that suit pants drip on. They was looking at one another. Girl, I got more suit pants than you. Kamala Harris has more suit pants than Steve Harvey. It's a fact. Let's continue, though.
The missing 818,000 jobs. Remember, they said 808. They were fake jobs, and they thought they'd be caught, but they thought it was going to be after the election, not before the election. They had a leaker. Thank you, Mr. Leaker. They had a leaker who leaked the fact that they falsified the numbers. Nobody talks about it.
Is that true? Did the Democrats falsify numbers in terms of the jobs that they created? Anybody look that up real quick? Because, you know, nobody ever calls out the Democrats for their lies. You know, they're so on top of Trump and his lies. They got a fact checker. You know, I think CNN and ABC, they hired fact checkers to follow Trump around 24/7, listen to everything he says and make sure he's not lying. But nobody's fact checking the Democrats. Nobody's looking, and I've caught the Democrats in a couple of lies. I've definitely heard them spout out lies before. And nobody's fact checking the Democrats. Nobody's fact checking Kamala. Nobody's fact checking Biden. Nobody's fact checking them. You know? And why was Kamala? Why is Kamala so scared? Why was she so scared to sit down and do a debate with Trump on Fox News? I would have loved to see that. Kamala Harris on Fox News debating Trump. That would have been primetime TV. And I think it's only fair, you know, you made Trump go to ABC. He's at war with ABC. He's not in good terms with ABC. He went into the Lion's Den, went there, you know, they refuted everything he said, they rebutted everything he said, they fact checked everything he said, and he went into the Lion's Den and he still came out with a debatable battle. With a battle that was, you know, polarizing. Some people said he won, some people said he lost, but it was still polarizing. Kamala Harris is so petrified to get into the Lions Den and actually fight. She doesn't want to get into the Lions Den and sit down with a respectable publication and be asked the tough questions. She doesn't want to sit down with Fox News and do a debate with Donald Trump and have to be fact check on everything that she says. She just wants an easy ride to the White House, and I don't believe that she should get that.
Press refuses to write it. We don't want to hear Kamala's fake promises, even something like she worked very long and hard hours over French fries at McDonald's. She'd never worked at McDonald's. It was a fake story. Yeah,
did Kamala ever really work at McDonald's? Was that story just capped? I actually seen a skit today. I may have to look and see if I could find it. I seen a skit today where somebody was making fun of Kamala working at McDonald's. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna play the video while I look see if I can find it.
It was a fake story. The press now refuses to write it because it's so, you know, there's a very simple one. She said she worked at McDonald's and she didn't. Not highly sophisticated, not complicated. It was a lie. She never worked at McDonald's over the hot French fries. I think I'm going to a McDonald's in 2 weeks, actually, and I'm going to work the French fries because I will have worked longer and harder at McDonald's than she did if I do that even for a half an hour.
Nah, I can't find it.
So we want to hear an apology for all of the jobs and all of the lives that she's destroyed. Think of it. They created 818,000 fake jobs so that the job numbers would look better. But they got caught before the election. They were going to announce it after the election that it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was fraud. And the Attorney General should look into it because nobody's ever had that kind of a mistake before in this country. 800, almost 1 million jobs, a mistake. But she got caught. So I just, sometimes these whistleblowers and leakers are okay with me. Kamala Harris is a one-woman economic wrecking ball. And this November, the people of North Carolina are going to tell her we've had enough. We can't take it anymore. Kamala Harris, you're fired. Get out. You're fired. You did a lousy job as vice president. Look, Joe is the worst president.
I'm Laura Gillen. My grandfather immigrated.
1 second, y'all. 1 second, y'all. I'm actually trying to find the clip. Somebody did a skit on it. I'm trying to find that skit. I just seen it, but I'm trying to get to it right now. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Damn, we got 2 commercials. What is going on? You two, we're not paying for no premiums, bro. Fuck out of here with we ain't paying for no premiums, man. Get out of here with the premiums, man. These 2 commercials.
Jimmy Carter is the happiest man because the Carter administration, by comparison, was totally brilliant. And Kamala is considered, and if you go back 7 weeks, was considered the worst vice president in the history of our country. Now she wants to be president. We can't let it happen. And she's a Marxist. We're not ready for a Marxist president, and we never will be. North Carolina was once the beating heart of American manufacturing. I know it very well. I was here many times to buy furniture for buildings. I'd come and I'd look, and there was nobody like the craftsmen of North Carolina. It was filled with companies like this one and known everywhere for its incredible craftsmanship and skill. I know from personal experience, though, that I was a big buyer. I bought a lot of things here. That there was no place for furniture in particular, like North Carolina. You were the furniture capital of the world, but now so much of that business has been stolen from you, and it's made in China and other places.
Hold on.
And by the way, it's not as good. The quality is nowhere near. You made furniture. You bought a chair. It was good for 30 years. You buy some of these chairs that they sell you now, they break after about 2 months. The people are laying on the floor, suing you for giving a bad chair. Then on top of it all, our government keeps them out. Then on top of it all, you get sued because they fell out of a chair at a hotel. Boy, oh boy, you made the best product. You made the best furniture. After the twin betrayals of NAFTA, which I ended, and China's entry into the WTO, World Trade, North Carolina lost over 300,000 manufacturing jobs quickly, including 60% of its furniture manufacturing jobs, and that number was going up until I came along. No one in Washington ever cared until me. In 4 short years, I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the USMCA, considered the best trade deal ever made, kept you in business. And I stood up to China like never before, including by imposing a 22% tariff on all Chinese.
Here it is. Oh, this is the clip right here. This is the clip right here. The clip right here. Hold on.
I'll be showing you my old job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We all love a Whopper.
Did you work at this location?
No, but it still signifies 1 in 3 Americans will work at McDonald's at least once in their life. It is America.
Okay.
Let's go get a Whopper or something.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Kamala Harris at McDonald's.
I like some fries.
Oh my God, it smells like home.
Working at her old job.
No, they didn't have these when I worked here.
She got the fake laugh down packed. The horrendous fake laugh down packed. She got it down packed.
I don't like that at all. And under my rule, there'd be no more.
We're gonna run that back again. Run that back again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and today I'll be showing you my old job.
Wow.
Yeah, Mickey D's. We all love a Whopper.
We all love a Whopper.
You work at this location?
No, but it still signifies 1 in 3 Americans will work at McDonald's at least once in their life. It is America.
Okay.
Let's go get a Whopper or something.
Yeah.
What do you like? Extra onion?
I like some
Oh my
fries.
God, it smells like home. No, they didn't have these when I worked here. I don't know how this works. I don't like that at all. And under my rule, there'd be no more.
Yeah, she got her mannerisms down. The fake laugh, the talking with her hands. She got it. She got the mannerisms down. She definitely got the mannerisms down packed. She definitely got the mannerisms down packed.
These furniture imports saving the North Carolina furniture industry. What was left?
Yeah, she said a Whopper. Everybody loves a Whopper at McDonald's.
Of it, because when I got there, you were in bad shape.
What does your video sound like? Go to our
Absolutely crazy. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on.
Of the industry from total obliteration, just like Glenn said here. This building was an empty hoaxer until you put tariffs on, and now it's thriving. And a lot of people working here. It's a beautiful, beautiful site, beautiful place, great-looking product. Almost overnight, we reduced Chinese furniture imports by 25%. And I just want to say to North Carolina, you're welcome. Get out and vote for Trump. That's all I ask. I don't ask much. Vote for Trump, right? These beautiful women are from North Carolina. They have been following me all over the United States for years. This is number 232, and this isn't a rally. This is just a gathering of business people, just letting them know how well we're doing with all of the things that we're doing and how well we're doing in the polls. We're doing very well. We're leading in North Carolina by nice numbers, I think, but the real story is now being told because you're hearing the story. But these women have followed me all over. Their husbands are great people that put up with them. They are all over. Look how beautiful they are. They follow me to California. They follow all over the country. And now finally we're in North Carolina, so you don't have to go so far. They live about 20 minutes away.
I'm gonna let this play, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna let this play. I'll be right back.
But they are unbelievable patriots, and we appreciate it. There's actually about 50 of them, and I often wonder, they're happily married. They're great, great people. They're happily married, but boy, their husbands, I say, darling, I'm leaving for a couple of days. We're going on. He's going, you're going to watch him again? But we love you, and we appreciate it. And above all else, they're patriots. They want to see our country get better, so thank you. Thank you very much. So to the workers of this state, when you hear Kamala Harris attack my tariffs today, you wouldn't have anything left in this state if I didn't do what I did. This building would be now shuttered, closed, empty, no jobs, and now it's thriving. We're going to do the same thing on a very large scale for our country. We're going to make our country something that nobody thought it was even possible. Just remember, Kamala's not attacking me. She's attacking your furniture job. She's attacking your community. She's attacking your factories. And she's trying to send all of those jobs to China with everything else. And we're not going to let that happen. Joe got all that money for China. China paid him a lot of money. So did Ukraine. So did Russia. They got a lot of money. Remember when I said during the debate, when Chris Wallace was the host, he did not so. How's Chris Wallace doing lately? Not too good, right? He's not doing too good. I said, why did the mayor of Russia's
The best part about Russell Stover sugar-free candies? It's the sweetness you crave. Without all the sugar. No sugar, great taste, guaranteed.
wife pay you $3.5 million cash? How come? And Chris Wallace stopped me. You're not supposed to be asking that question. I said, why not? That's a question. He wouldn't let it be asked. You know, I had 3-on-1 the other day, and I had 2-on-1 then. I always have unequal odds, but we handled it very well. We got great marks on that debate. We had a woman debating. She just talked about, like, the birds and the bees. She didn't talk about, when you asked a question, there was never an answer. There was never any knowledge. When you saw her the other day, and by the way, when she did the interview previous with the Pennsylvania person who was a nice person, I know him very well, they were the softest questions. She was unable, literally unable, to answer the questions. And we can't have that. We cannot have it. We need 4 strong years. We have to bring our country back. Under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing your jobs to foreign nations. Instead, foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to America. You've never heard that before. And you've never heard that before, I don't think. We're going to take their jobs, we're going to take their factories, and we're going to bring trillions and trillions of dollars in wealth back to the USA and back to North Carolina. A lot of those jobs, especially those furniture jobs, they're going to be coming back. It's not overly complicated, and we're going to explain it. And it's what many countries have done to us for years and years and years. And we didn't do it because we didn't have the leadership necessary to understand what was going on. Here is the deal that I will be offering to every major company and manufacturer within our country. I will give you the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs. I will cut your energy in half. The lowest regulatory burden and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet Earth, but only if you make your product here in America and hire American workers for the job. You know, I had Wall Street geniuses calling me up yesterday. I said this yesterday when
Anthony D'Esposito supports an extreme national abortion ban, with no exceptions for rape or incest. Anthony D'Esposito is putting Nassau County women in danger.
All right, we back. Got the commercial playing. Give me a second.
I was in Georgia, where we're leading also, by the way. That's nice, by quite a bit. But we were in Georgia and doing well. And they called me up after the speech and they said, what? Who gave you that idea to cut the taxes, but only if you make the product in the USA? Pretty good idea. They said, who gave you that idea? I said, I did. If you don't make your product here, then you will have to pay a tariff when you send your product into the United States. And we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars into our treasury and use that money to benefit American citizens. But really what's going to happen is they're going to end up building their factory here so they don't have to pay the tariff. That's really what's going to happen, most of it. But when they don't, we're going to take in a lot of money.
I'm going to be honest with you. You know, like Trump telling us that that he's going to bring all these jobs, these manufacturing jobs back to America. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a good idea. Can you imagine having an Apple iPhone factory in America? Your phones are gonna cost $8,000. Americans don't want to make iPhone. They don't. A lot of Americans don't want to. You know, a lot of these manufacturing Americans don't want to make these things. So a lot of these manufacturing jobs, I mean, they'd be better making these items, you know, in China, making these items wherever they're making these items at. I don't. A lot of these manufacturing jobs, they're better off where they're at. You know, they really are better off where they're at. I'll be honest with you. Some of these manufacturing jobs, they kind of keep these some of them, not all of them, Not all of them, but some of these manufacturing jobs. I mean, I think they're better off where they're at, because I mean, you're not going to get a bunch of Americans to make iPhones better than better than China. You know. So I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about that. But let's continue.
Every once in a while in business, you'll look at a company and say, how is it possible that I can buy this company? This company's great. Happens. I've had it happen a lot. Actually, I've done a lot of them. But the other side looks and doesn't understand why you're so thrilled. And that's the way I view the incredible potential of the United States. This is a profit-generating machine that's been horribly run by either corrupt or very stupid politicians. And it's been allowed to be dissipated, absolutely dissipated. But it's like a company that you see it, you buy it, you change it, and you make a fortune. And oftentimes the seller of those companies will come back to me and come back to others and say, why the hell didn't I see that? Happens. I've had a lot of jobs like that. You take it and it becomes a tremendous success. And the seller would call me and say, congratulations, I never saw what you saw. You know, they talk about the paperclip. The paperclip is a very simple thing. A lot of people say, gee, why didn't I think of that? The United States of America is going to be by far the most successful country anywhere in the world. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do things that nobody will believe. And it's so simple and it's going to happen fast.
I'm going to clip it right here. It's getting kind of late. I'm getting a little tired too. I haven't really heard much. I keep hearing that Trump has this new plan that he's unveiled. I haven't really heard much of it. I've saw a couple of clips and I've watched this as well. I'm not hearing any new plan that's going to be groundbreaking. I mean, like I said, the whole bringing manufacturing jobs back to America. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. A lot of your goods and services, the price are going to skyrocket. Americans don't want to make these certain things that, some of these jobs that y'all want to bring back, these manufacturing jobs, Americans don't want to do them. A lot of these jobs that, y'all want to bring back here, or like, I don't know. Like, I really don't see it. Like, especially like these younger generational kids that are coming up. Like, you ain't gonna get none of these younger generational kids, these Generation Z or whatever they are. You're not gonna get them working in no factory like, baby boomers and like the silent generation, even like the Generation Xers. You're not gonna get these guys in no factories like y'all did back in the day. Everybody wants to be an influencer. You think these kids want a solid job or like a factory job? These kids don't want that. So a lot of these manufacturing jobs, I just don't see a reason on bringing them back. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I haven't really heard any economic plan from Trump. I shoot Trump some bell every now and then. Then, I say, you know what, I like what Trump said here. I like what Trump said there. But I'm not really hearing anything, that is gravitating or moving me in terms of the things he's been saying so far. Definitely haven't heard an economic plan that's going to work. But that's just me. So somebody said Lance Group. I'm gonna just say Lance Group says, LOL, people don't want to work. Is that what you're saying? Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. People don't want to work. They don't. You're not gonna get these Generation Z kids. You're not gonna get them in a factory. You think you're gonna get them kids in a factory? They all want to be influencers. They all want to be on Twitch. You're not going to get them to do that. They don't want no manufacturing job, some depressing ass job in a factory. They don't want that. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, in a lot of these manufacturing jobs, if you bring some of these manufacturing jobs back to America, your goods and services are going to skyrocket. They're going to skyrocket. You know, especially if you bring Apple, you bring the Apple factory to America. The price of the think about it. The price of a Apple phone is what? The normal price, I would say, like what? Maybe like $8 to $1,000. You know, the new one is about 1,000 and change. That's gonna skyrocket if you bring those Apple factories to America. It just doesn't make sense to bring some of these manufacturing jobs. They're better off where they are. The parts are cheaper. The maintenance to make them are cheaper. It's better off where they at. Some of them, maybe not every manufacturing jobs, but the ones that I'm thinking of. You know, I don't see a reason I'm bringing them back here. But that's just me. That's just me. Somebody said these kids do Amazon already. Yeah, they do Amazon already, and look how they handle those jobs. Look how they handle those jobs. You see the videos with them throwing the packages. There's videos of them doing stupid stuff, you know, in the trucks and doing all types of vlogs in the truck. These kids don't take them jobs seriously. There's no pride in those jobs. There's no honor in those jobs. They already, you know, treating those jobs like, you know, they don't want them anyway. Tossing the packages, doing YouTubes in you know, doing YouTube and Twitches in the Amazon van, stealing things from the Amazon factories. They ain't got no pride and honor in them jobs already. Now you talking about putting them in a damn factory? Come on. If you can't handle an Amazon job, how you gonna handle a factory job? Is my question. They don't got no pride in their work when they work at Amazon. But you want to put them in a factory and give them a manufacturing job, working on an iPhone or, you know, working on some type of furniture or working on some type of, you know, just any type of manufacturing job. I don't see it. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It's getting kind of late, a little tired. But we're gonna pick up this discussion. We'll do another video, God willing, tomorrow, and we'll see how that pans out. I want to give a salute to Sinclair. Salute to Sinclair for holding me down tonight. Salute to Sinclair. I hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. This is the check-in report. I'll probably pick up tomorrow. I may do an early morning live tomorrow. I'm gonna see how I feel. But with that being said, you guys have a good night, man. Toodles, we out.